Hello guys, welcome to this channel. So in today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to draft this Princess Dart Bustier with a stylish hemline. So if this looks like what you would want to learn, do not forget to hit on the like and the subscribe button. Do well by turning on your notification bell so you can get notified when next we upload the sewing part of this tutorial. This is going to be the first part. So in our next tutorial, we'll be learning how to join this together. Also, this is the flounce. I'll be teaching you how to cut and sew this as well. So guys, please like this video so that you too can make it go viral, so that other soulmates can get to watch this video as well. So guys, let's get straight into the video. So right now I've gone ahead to mark my bust point and my shoulder to my under bust and also my half length. So the front half length is 18 inches. Okay, so my bust point from my shoulder to my nipple is 11, my half length is 18, and my shoulder to under bust is 14. So I've gone ahead to mark it: bust point, under bust, and half length. So the full length of this gown is 24.5. Okay, so from the bust point I'll go up by 1.5 to get my chest line. Okay, if you have been following this channel, you should be familiar with this. So this is our chest line. So the shoulder measurement we are using is 16 divided by 2, 8. I marked 8 and I marked 3 inches as the neck width. I came down by 1 inch to get my shoulder slope. Okay, so I'm going to take the measurement I have on my shoulder, which is 8 inches. I'll go ahead and mark it on the chest line to get my armhole line. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead to connect like so. So I'm going to get the midpoint of my armhole line, divide it into 2, get the midpoint, then you go in by half of an inch or 3/4 of an inch. Okay, then the round bust measurement that I'm using is 41 divided by 4 is 10 1/4. So I'll go ahead and connect these 3 points together, okay, to get my armhole curve. Okay, so our bust span measurement is 8 inches divided by 2 is 4. So I went ahead to mark 4 inches on the bust point down to the full length of my blouse. Okay, so go ahead and connect like so. So at the under bust, I'll be marking half of an inch all the way down. Then I'm going to connect just like you see me doing. Okay, so at the other side front, I'm going to be marking 2 inches. If you are working with a smaller bust, you can use 1.5, but this is bust 41, so I used 2 inches and I went ahead to connect like so. So the next thing, at the bust point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, then I'm going to connect with my curve to the under bust. Just watch what I'm doing. Just go ahead and connect like so. After doing that, this is what it looks like. Okay, can you see guys? So on the shoulder, the armhole, I'm going to get the midpoint of my armhole. So what I have is 10, so the midpoint is 5 because I want to place my dart around that place. So the dart intake is going to be 1.5. If you are working with a smaller bust, you can use 1 inch. So I marked 3/4 of an inch on both sides, making it 1.5. So I'm just going to connect it like this. Just go ahead and connect just like you see me doing. Okay, also I'm going to extend the lower dart. Can you see? So I'm going to be extending it by 1 inch so that by the time we are joining this, one side will not be longer or shorter than the other. So I'll go ahead and draw a new armhole, and also to avoid the armhole from being too small, so go ahead and extend it by 1 inch. So remember, I'll be cutting this part off, so I'm going to replace it back. Then this 1.5 inches that I'll go ahead and replace it. Okay, then also I'll be adding allowance of 2 inches. You can decide to add 1 inch, 1.5. So on the waist measurement, waistline, I'll be dividing my round waist measurement, which is 36 divided by 4 is 9. The dart intake is 2.5, so I'll go ahead and replace it. Then I'll add allowance of 2 inches. Go ahead and connect like you see me doing. Okay, so at the hemline of this gown, of this blouse, so our hip measurement, I'll divide it by 4. What I have is 11.5. So I'm going to replace this dart of 2.5 inches and also add my side seam allowance of 2 inches. Just go ahead and connect from the waistline to the hem of our blouse. Okay, so guys, the next thing I'm going to, for the side back, I'm going to be reducing it by 1 inch because the difference between our front half length and our back half length is 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and connect it to my bust point. The front half length is 18, the back half length is 17. So when you subtract it, you have 1 inch. So I'm going to reduce the side by 1 inch. For the neck width we're using is 3.5 by 3.5. So you can decide to use 3 by 3, okay? But I want mine to be 3.5 by 3.5, okay? So we're basically through with this. This is our center front, this is our side front. So for the drafting of the back, I'm going to be marking 1.5 inch for our zipper allowance. Just go ahead and mark it. Then I'm going to be placing my measurement, our bust point, half length, although this bust point is not really necessary, so but it's just going to serve as a guide for us to get the chest line. So usually we'll go up by 1.5 from the bust point to get our chest line. Okay, so I'll go ahead and rule it out. So guys, this is our chest line. The next thing, I'll place my tape at the top, which will serve as our shoulder line. I'll mark the half length. So remember, I said the front half length is 18 while the back is 17. So I went ahead to mark 17, okay? And also for the, to get the full length from the front pattern, I'll go ahead and measure what I have from the waistline to the hem is 6.5. So I'll go ahead and repeat the same thing, which is 6.5, okay? So go ahead and connect like so. When you check what we have here, it's going to be 1 inch. So is that 1 inch for the dart intake that we had for the front? That's why we're not using the same half length. So now our shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2/8. I came down by 1 inch, and the neck width I use is 3. So I just went ahead to connect to get my shoulder slope. So I'm going to take the measurement I have on the shoulder. I marked it on the chest line just to connect my armhole line. Just the same thing we did for the front. Now our round bust divided by 4 is 10.25. So I'll go ahead and connect like so. So next thing, I'm going to be imputing my bust span measurement, which is 8 divided by 4 by 2 is 4. So I went ahead to mark 4 inch on the chest line and also at the full length, and I went ahead to connect like so. So for the dart intake on the waistline, I'll be using 1 inch. I marked half of an inch on both sides. Then I'll just go ahead and connect with my ruler. Okay, so I'm going to get the midpoint of my armhole. What I have is, when you measure, what I have is 10, so the midpoint is 5. So I'm just going to connect like this. So at this point, you can decide not to put a dart intake on the armhole, but I went ahead to add half of an inch. That's 1 inch dart intake. Okay, so I just wanted to tighten up my armhole. So just go ahead and connect. Make sure it's not too curved. Then extend the lower dart by half of an inch. Then draw a new back armhole curve. Okay, so guys, I'm going to replace this 1 inch back on my chest line, and also this other part I'm going to add, it's not up to half, about quarter. Then I'll add 2 inch side seam allowance. So on the waistline, our round waist measurement is 36 divided by 4 is 9. Then I'll replace this dart intake of 1 inch and add 2 inch side seam allowance. Okay, so I'll go ahead and connect from my chest line to my waistline. So at the hem of our blouse, our round waist measurement, our round hip measurement divided by 4, I'll go ahead and mark. Then I'll add 2 extra inch for our side allowance. Okay, so this is it. So this is our center back and this is our side back. So on the waistline for the back, to want our zipper to sit well behind, I'll be going in by 3/4 of an inch. You can decide to add half of an inch if you are not working with a big size. Then I'll connect it to the neck. Then I'll also blend it up like this. So I'm going to be cutting off or cutting out this particular part. So I'm going to replace this 3/4 of an inch that I measured on the waistline. I'm going to replace it back to avoid shortage. Okay, then on the chest line as well, there is a little part that I'll be cutting out So I'm going to replace it about quarter of an inch, then I'll connect like so to get my new side. Then I'll connect from the waistline down to the hem of my blouse. So we are not going to be using this first line, we'll be using the second one. So for the back neck width, I use 3.5 inches by 2 inch. You can decide to use 3.5 by 1 or 1.5. So guys, basically that's it for this tutorial. So I went ahead to cut this part out. Okay, just watch what I'm doing. If you don't understand what I'm saying, please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do well by subscribing to our channel. Do it by turning on your notification bell so you can get notified when next we upload new tutorials. Please remember to close up your side before cutting, okay? Please close up your side darts before cutting. So do it by turning on your notification bell so you can get notified when next we upload the second part of this tutorial. So guys, this is it. This is our pattern, front and back pattern. So next I'll be teaching you how to draw a flounce, how to draft a flounce. So when you place these sides together, you discover that they are equal. So that was the essence of our side dart, okay? So now I went ahead to cut a pattern paper 20 inches by 20 inches. That is, all the sides are equal. So I'm going to get the midpoint, which is 10. Okay, just go ahead because we want to get the center line of this pattern paper 20 inches by 20 inches. So when I got the midpoint is 10. At this other side too, I'll get the midpoint, get the center line, the midpoint, and also the other side, the midpoint. Then you mark and connect again, just like we did. So we want to work at the center line. So this is it. I'm going to be placing my tape at this center line and I'll be marking 1 inch all around. Okay, just go ahead and mark 1 inch like you see me doing. So I want to teach you how to draw a perfect flounce. So this is it. This is what it looks like. So the wideness of my flounce, I'll be using 3.5 inches. Okay, so go ahead and mark 3.5 inches. You can make it 2 inches or 3 inches. Okay, so from this part I'm just going to be blending like so. Just watch what I'm doing. Just blend it to one of these ends. So I discovered that this part is too curved, so I'm just going to blend it with my curve rule. So this is actually better. So I'll continue. I'll keep on marking 3.5 inches all the way round. Just watch what I'm doing if you don't understand what I'm saying. So I use 3.5. By the time I sew this, I'll be left with just 3 inches. Go ahead and mark 3.5 just like you see me doing. Okay, place your tape and mark 3.5 all around. So you are going to continue this until you get to that part where you would have less of that number that you've been marking all along. So just watch me guys. This is very easy and simple. So at this point I discovered that when I go further I won't get that 3.5, so I stopped there. Can you see that? So I don't want this to be straight. I made this part to be, I curved it a little. So this is what we'll be making use of. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out so that you all can see. Guys, we are basically through with this. So I'll head over to my, I'm going to be transferring this to my pattern paper, to my fabric, and show you what it looks like. Okay, so guys, for the center piece, for the upper part, this is the center front. I went ahead to transfer, and as well in our next tutorial I'll be showing you the detailed version of what I did. So I've transferred my flounce to my fabric, my choice of fabric, and I be using light gum stay for this. I've also cut them equal. So I'm going to be cutting my pattern paper. I have two pieces for my fabric. One will serve as the lining, one will serve as the main fabric. Then I'll just go ahead and cut out like so. So I'm cutting the three together at once so that we'll not have issue with one longer than the other. So it should be very easy for you when sewing. Okay, so that's just the best way. So guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial. Please, if you find this tutorial helpful, do not forget to hit on the like and the subscribe button. See you guys in my next tutorial. Bye.